She was a beautiful, just normal 5-year-old little girl running and playing and loved stuffed animals. She had been normal one day and they found bruises and took her in for treatment and discovered she had leukemia. I began to go and visit her in the hospital, and we would sit and have tea and chocolate with the family and just take funds to help them. The following summer, when I was there on a mission trip, we went to visit her. We walked in and we were unable to see her because she had real high fever. So she colored me 2 pictures and sent out to me with her parents. And I took the camera and showed her mom how to use it, and she went in and took pictures of Deanna so I could have. She died later that week while I was there.
Even in the most challenging of times, we live in a land of astonishing wealth. 80% of the rest of the world lives on less than $10 a day, half on less than $2.50. Nowhere do you see the effects more than in medical care. 1 child dies every 3 seconds due to inadequate health care. But health recycles hope, and a world in need can find that hope through the things we simply throw away. Kneeling Bridge Ministries began in the wake of Deanna's death. Through that tragedy and through her missionary work in Ukraine, Shannon Boyd witnessed the challenges of healthcare in the developing world. Deanna's family had to come up with their own funding for Deanna to be treated at all.
They don't receive treatment if they don't have the money, and they have to pull together to get medicines that are prescribed.
It's not an uncaring system, just one that is profoundly impoverished. And Shannon had a unique opportunity to witness it up close.
The doctors and I have befriended one another, and they opened up their hearts and actually books to me and showed me what they are faced with on a day-to-day basis with treating the patients.
What she saw was astonishing. Doctors are faced daily with the choice not to treat at all or to treat with disposable supplies that are simply rinsed and reused.
They held a intubation tube up to me that was yellowed and brittle, and that's what you put inside the child to put him to sleep.
Deanna's mother wanted to do something, so Shannon started raising money to buy intubation tubes, oxygen masks, and antibiotic ointment. Something as seemingly simple as Neosporin was the most requested item. It's considered almost a miracle drug there.
We have more in our medicine cabinet at home than this hospital has there.
Seeing the need and responding to it led to more ambitious goals. While Shannon was there, an apheresis machine broke down. That's a machine that separates disease-causing components in blood, and it's absolutely essential in treating seriously ill patients like Deanna.
And I came back and asked myself, how can I make a difference? How can I help them? I contacted the Red Cross, and over the course of a few months, they were able to donate an apheresis machine to me that was being rotated out of service.
This device that could do incomparable good would have been simply thrown away.
So this would have sat in a warehouse somewhere until it ended up in a landfill.
It's a common story. Every year, some 2 million tons of medical supplies and equipment are sent to already overtaxed landfills, much of it never used.
This started my brain to thinking, there's a lot of stuff sitting around here that we have that we can't use due to rules and regulations that they can use to save lives with.
So Shannon started a life-saving scavenger hunt, working with hospitals, clinics, doctors' offices, collecting items they no longer have a use for. It could be some highly technical piece of equipment that's simply 1 generation too old for use here, or just some bandages. Anything can mean the world to those doctors doing their best under the most challenging circumstances, and to those patients whose very lives hang in the balance.
The doctors have been most surprised by some of the innovative things that we use. For example, to put an IV into a child's hand, they fold cardboard and have the child hold it, and we have specially designed plastic pieces that their fingers fit over, and they were amazed at just some of the things that we have that they're having to make do.
It just makes so much sense. So how can you help? Well, these items are already headed for the landfill, so this is the ultimate green effort, literally recycling hope for those in need. If you're in the medical professions, there's so little sacrifice other than the effort to identify and set aside those items that could still find use overseas.
To get supplies, it has not been hard because once medical facilities learn what I'm doing, they're excited about it because they don't have to throw these items away, and they're glad that someone can be using them.
There are also needs surrounding the supply and delivery chains that will get the items where they're needed most.
There are many, many warehouses sitting vacant right now that I could use, and if they would rent or sell it, I could be out of within a few days. We just need storage space, basically, in an area to sort items.
There are wonderful opportunities to become personally involved in Kneeling Bridge Ministries through volunteer work. And as with any charitable work, your contributions go the farthest because they can be directly applied to the areas of most immediate need. Donations can even be made easily and instantly on the Kneeling Bridge website. Shannon Boyd also asked how she could help. Kneeling Bridge Ministries was the answer she received, bridging the gap between excess and need and believing that health recycles.